Hello everyone, I'm Olivia again, and this time we'll read Midnight on the Moon. Continue the story. So anyway, today we will read today together with this Mr. Duck. Mr. Duck. He's pink but very cute. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry to bother you reading. And today we'll read chapter 4. Oh, there's mushroom. Ding, 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 ding. Chapter 4. Moon Rabbits. Oh, wow, said Annie. She took a step forward. But Jack stood frozen. He wanted to get a good look at Barry first. He stared at the ground. He was standing in the layer to gray dust as fine as powder. Footprints were everywhere. Jack wondered who had made them. He reached into the backpack for the moon book. To his surprise, it was light as a feather. He found a picture of the footprints on the moon. He read, "The moon has no rain or wind to blow the dust around, so footprints will never wear away naturally, not even in a billion years." "Oh man," Jack said, "the moon was the silentest place he had ever been. It was as still as a picture, and its stillness would never ever end." Jack stared at the ink-black sky. A lovely blue and white ball glowed far away earth. For the first time, it really hit Jack. They were outer space. "Look!" Annie cried, laughing. She bounded past Jack, almost flying through the air. She landed on her feet. Then she jumped again. "I'm a moon rabbit," she called. Jack laughed. "How does it do that?" He wondered. He turned the page and read, "A person weighs less on the moon because of the moon, low gravity and lack of air. If you weigh 10 pounds on Earth, you will only weigh 10 pounds on Earth." Very surprisingly, my dad is weight 16 in Earth, so when he's going to the moon, he weighed 10. "Don't just stand there reading," said Annie, grabbing the book from Jack's gloved hand. She tossed it into place. It flew far away. Jack started after it. He bounded up and down, boing, boing, boing. Now he felt as light as the wet feather. "Look," he called to Annie. "I'm a moon rabbit too." Where Jack's boots hit the ground, moon dust gravely sprayed into space. The book had landed at the edge of the shallow crater. Then Jack reached it. He tried to stop, but his feet slapped dead. He fell right over and lay on his side. He tried to stand, but he was off balance. He tried again, but the dust was just too deep, and his spacesuit was too clumsy. "You okay?" asked Annie. I can't get up, said Jack. You shouldn't have to be goofy off, said Annie wisely. You goofy off first, said Jack. Now help me up, please. Annie started toward him. Don't fall out, too, warned Jack. I won't. Annie moved very slowly. She half floated, half walked it. Give me your hand, she said. Annie grabbed Jack's hand. She pressed her boot against his and pulled him up. Thanks, he said. No problem, she said. It was easy. You were really light. Thank goodness, said Jack. It's impossible to get up alone. He picked up the moon book. It was covered with dust. He brushed it off. Oh, wow, look, said Annie. She stood at the edge of the crater. What is it? said Jack. A moon buggy, said Annie. The buggy was parked in the crater. It had 4 huge wheels. Let's go for a ride, said Annie. We can't, said Jack. We just have 2 hours of air in our tanks. Remember? I bet we'll find the emptying faster if we take the moon buggy. Annie bounded into the crater. But we can't drive, said Jack. I bet I can drive this, said Annie. It looks easy. Come on. She jumped into the driver's seats. But you don't have a license, said Jack. Who cares, said Annie. There aren't any roads on the moon, or spotlights, or police either. She was right, Jack thought. Well, go slow, he said. And he climbed in beside her. And he pushed a button on it on. The moon buggy lurched backwards. Yikes, said Annie. Step on the brake, said Jack. Annie pressed the pedal on the floor. The buggy stopped with a jerk. Whee, she said. It must be in the reserve, said Jack. Let me study this. But before we could study anything, Annie pushed another button. The buggy titled back. Its front wheels started to race into the air. Let me out of here, said Jack. Annie pushed more buttons. The buggy front wheels landed back on the ground, and the buggy leapt forwards. Slow, said Jack. I can't, said Annie. I don't know how. Annie steered the buggy over the tracks. On the ground, the wide wheels kept it from sinking into the deep dust. Careful, Jack. The buggy zoomed out of the crater. Gray clouds of dust rose behind them as they took off across the moon. Chapter 5. Hang on. Annie drove the moon buggy over dumps and hollows. It ducked it like a broncho. I'm going through there. He pointed to an opening between two mountains. Jack held on to the dashboard. The buggy dumped it toward the opening and shot through it. On the other side, the ground was even rockier. Look for the fourth empty, said Annie, bouncing up and down. Jack groaned. Looking for anything this wild ride was impossible. Slow down, he said. How? Try pressing on the brake pedal on the floor slowly. And he pressed on the brake. The buggy slowed down. Jack sighed with relief. The ride was still bumpy, but now at least he could take a good look at the moon. He had never been such a colorless burnt place. There was no green, no blue or red. No red. No water, no trees, no clouds. Only giant gray rocks and chatters and an American flag. Oh man, said Jack. That's from the first astronauts who landed on the moon. And took a telescope, said Annie. She drove near the flag and telescope. Then she put her foot on the brake until the buggy stopped it. She pressed a button that set off. Then she and Jack hopped it out. They took slow giant steps to the side of the first moon landing. Beside the flag was a sign, and you read it aloud. Here man from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 80. We came in space for all magnet. That's a good message, said Jack. He handed the moon book to Annie. Then he took out his notebook and pencil to copy the sign. Let's leave our own message, said Eddie. What should we say, said Jack. The same thing, said Annie. But say we were first kids. Jack turned to a new page in his notebook. In big letters, he wrote their message. Now we have to sign it, Annie said. Jack signed his name. Then he passed the notebook and pencil to Annie. She signed her name and passes the notebook back. Jack tore out the pieces of paper. He put it by a flag. Today the first kid from the planet Earth came to the moon. We came peace for all children. Jack, Annie. No wind would ever blow the message away. No rain would ever fall on it. It would be there forever unless someone moved it. Think forever made Jack feel dizzy. He shook his head to clear his thoughts. Then he remembered the time. Had 2 hours passed yet? I wish I had to watch, he said, standing up. We might be running out of time. Oh, well, the man, said Annie. What? Jack turned to look at her. She was staring through the telescope. Jack walked over to the telescope. Annie stepped it aside so he could look too. Jack gasped. In the distance, something was flying above the ground. It looked like a giant man in a spacesuit. Okay, everyone, we'll read the last chapter, chapter 6. Okay. Let's go. Who is that? Said Jack. I don't know, said Annie. But we'll soon find out. She started waving. No, said Jack. He grabbed her arm. Let's get back to the race before he gets here. Why? Said Annie. We don't know who is it, said Jack. We don't know if he's friendly or mean or what. But we can't go back, said Annie. We haven't found the fourth empty thing yet. We won't be able to go home. It doesn't matter. We can lock the door at the moon base until he goes away, said Jack. Then we can get new air tanks. Jack hurried to the moon buggy. Come on! He jumped into the driver's seat. And he gave a little wave to the dots in the sky. Then she climbed into the moon buggy. The buggy took off. Careful, said Annie. They dumped it over a rock, said Jack. Turned the buggy around. Then they zoomed toward the pass. Jack steered around the craters and rocks. More than once the buggy nearly tipped it over. Whoa! Slow down, said Annie. Then we're almost at the mountain pass. Suddenly, a cloud of dust flew up in front of them. The ground trembled. Watch it! Cried Annie. Jack couldn't see a thing. He stepped it on the brake. The buggy drove to the stop. The dust settled. A giant rock hadn't fallen into the narrow pass. It was stuck between 2 walls of rock they were trapped in. Jack quickly found a picture of the giant rock into the moon book. He read aloud. Rock of all sides crash into the moon from outer space. Those rocks are called Mothmoria. We are lucky that Mothmoria didn't land on us, said Jack. Yeah, and I guess it's too big to be the ending, said Annie. She had climbed out of the moon buggy and was standing by the meteorite. It was more than twice as tall as she was. Jack looked at the black sky. The flying things was nowhere in sight yet. We'll have to jump over it, Annie said. Jump? I don't think so, said Jack. It's too high. I'm going to try anyway, said Annie. Wait, let's think first, said Jack. But Annie was already backing up. 1, 2, 3, go, she shouted, and took a giant leaping steps toward the meteorite. When Annie got close to the rock, she pushed up the ground Then she flew through space and disappeared behind the meteorite. Annie, Jack called. There was no answer. Oh, brother, Jack said. He back up and took off toward the rock. He jumped as high as he could. Then he was flying through the space. Jack hit the ground and fell face down into the dust. Jack tried to stand, but his suit was too bulky. He tried to roll over, but his suit made even that impossible. Oh no, he groaned. Not again. Are we here? Are you here? Said Annie. Did you make it? Yes, Jack was relieved to hear her voice. But he couldn't turn his head to see her. He could only hear her over the radio. Can you help me up? He asked. Nope, said Annie. Why not? I fell down too, she said. Oh, brother, Jack sighed. Now we are really in trouble. He tried to stand again and failed. Can you see anything? He asked. Just the sky, said Annie. Wow, is it weird? I'm worried about our air tanks, said Jack. I feel like it's been 2 hours. Jack, said Annie. And what about that moon man? Said Jack. Where did he go to? Jack, whispered Annie. What? He's here, she said. The moon man is here. What? He's standing above me. Okay, everyone, today reading is finished. And next time we'll read chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. And the chapter 10 is the last chapter of this book, the Midnight on the Moon. So today we'll say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye, see you next time.